Hello. Um, I'm very late with this review, but I feel like now is a better time than any. A while ago now, I think maybe a month and a bit ago, Trophy Eyes released their album, The American Dream, and I know if you're a casual viewer of the Dylan's Thoughts channel, you're probably familiar with my video on Friday Forever, where I released a pretty harsh and scathing review of that track in wake of the album soon to be released. And I wanted to hold off with this review for a little bit because I didn't want to release it and for it to not be a true and honest take of my opinion on this album, because when I first heard it, when I first gave it a listen the day it came out, I really wasn't a fan. I found it to be a bit, tepid and honestly a bit like pandering, and I wasn't a fan of the marketing that went towards this album and how much the boys were pushing for this to be like their breakthrough hit and whatever. I found that to be really false and really transparent in their intentions, but in saying that, after giving this album a lot more listens than I'm honestly surprised how many times I actually listened to this album, considering how much I really didn't like it when I first heard it. But I wanted to give it a fair shot because I respect Trophy Eyes and I respect the boys behind it, and I feel like this album, if any this year, deserved that kind of fair chance. And along with hearing this new album a lot, I also, in tandem, listened to, a lot of their back catalogue to kind of draw comparisons. And I feel like now I'm ready to truly provide my opinion on this album, whether you want to hear it or not. Just click off the video if you don't. Why are you here? So, yeah, like, my opinion on it still is one of dissatisfaction, and I'm still not sure whether that's coming from personal bias or like genuine dislike for the music, but I feel like I'm at the point where I can't listen to it anymore, and my opinion is likely to change. So yeah, I'm not truly satisfied with this new record and this direction it went in. And if you remember all the way back to my review of Hurt, the single they released last year, you'll be aware that I said that I didn't want this new album to go in the direction of that song, and it did. The choruses to songs like Lavender Bay and Autumn, they're just disappointingly weak, coming from a band that are known for strong, punchy hooks and strong, punchy lyrics and choruses to go along with these lyrics. And I know not every album has to be like a masterpiece in terms of lyricism, but this album truly lets itself down in that department as well. But I don't want to blather on about that shit, because I kind of did in the Friday Forever video, where I did like a real scathing take on the songwriting from John on this new album. And it doesn't really get much better throughout the whole album. There's not a single moment where I was like, well, no. There's very few moments where I was like, yeah, that was a really good piece of songwriting. And the only exception to that would be Something Bigger Than Us, or Something Bigger Than This, I think it is, the second track on the album, because it feels like a leftover cut from Chemical Miracle. And that's why I enjoy that song. It's one of my favorite songs on the album, this new album, because it feels like a B-side from Chemical Miracle that's been put through the machine for the American Dream. You know, it's been buffed and shined and stripped of all like really personality, in order for it to fit on this new album that seems to be missing a lot of that old Trophy Eyes spirit and personality. I mean, I can compliment this album, don't get me wrong. There are things that it does well, and there are songs on it that I enjoy, like Something Bigger Than This, for example, I enjoy, and the closer, I Can Feel It Calling. I enjoy, it's funny, I hated Friday Forever when I first heard it, but subsequent listens, if I can tell my brain this isn't a Trophy Eyes song, I actually enjoy it, and that's what I do with a lot of the rest of the tracks on this album, really. The instrumentals, or at least the slower, more acoustic songs, are just completely forgettable to me. I feel like John's taken his personality from Little Brother and completely stripped away everything that made that good and tried to, I don't know, what's the word, like mimic Springsteen and so on. Because I know this album was written and recorded, well, written at least, when John was in America. And you can really get that influence. You can really hear the kind of Americana folk vibe from a lot of the songs, especially the acoustic ones. But yeah, if you want me to be concise, because I know this video will probably go into the rambling category, I'd say this album was a letdown. It was a letdown for me, and it sucks to say that because I didn't want to be let down by it. I was so excited to finally be getting a third album from Trophy Eyes, but yeah, I just didn't feel it at all. And I tried to listen to the full album again at work today, and I just couldn't do it. I got to You Can Count on Me and just skip the rest of it up until I Can Feel It Calling, because that second half is just so forgettable and bland. And that's even including cuts like Miming in the Choir that I know a lot of people were praising, but there's nothing special to it. So yeah, I'm sad that I can't enjoy this album like a lot of other people have. I'm sad that the positivity and good vibes that appear to be pushed by this record just seem a bit one-dimensional and false to me. And yeah, like, I wish I got it. I wish I could say, hell yeah, man, like, I'm happy Trophy Eyes are moving on with their sound. You know, they're ditching the Men Move On, Everything Goes Away era from their live shows, and they're embracing this new sound, and it's such a good direction for them to go in. I just don't think it is, honestly. I don't, like, I know I went on about them selling out and stuff, but I don't think they're selling out. I just think the new vibe that they're wanting to go for, the new vibe that they've kind of lampooned with this new record, just doesn't fit them. It really doesn't. And, you know, positivity be damned. You can write as many happy songs as you want, but even if you're writing happy songs because you're happy, that doesn't make the songs inherently good. And I wish they were. I wish I could say every song on this album really made me cheery and happy, but they just left me with a sour taste in my mouth. You know, that there are some solid lyrics that do kind of get me, kind of catch me off guard if I'm not paying attention. Like Friday Forever's feel-good vibes catch me off guard at points, and I do catch myself singing along to it when I'm driving. It's a really good driving song, I'll give it that. And same with Something Bigger Than This. But there's just so many moments where you just know. You just know, like, that's the old Trophy Eyes shining through. Like, there's a bit on More Like You after the first chorus where John kind of goes, like, after the chorus happens. And that just brought a smile to my face, because it's the same sort of punky attitude I saw him display on stage when I saw them live in Orlando. You know, he was a kid on stage living the dream, you know, the American dream, haha. I just wish that they knew how much old fans don't just want them to play the old stuff because we're afraid of change. We want them to play the old stuff because we know that that's probably what makes them the happiest. And I get that bands move on, but even if you want to evolve your sound, you should at least consider the fan base, the people that are going to be listening to your music. I don't know. You may spam this video with dislikes like you did the Friday Forever video, and I mean, it was kind of fair on that one. I was a bit assholey, but yeah, just, you can give this album a listen and decide for yourself, really, like, whether it's for you or not. I'm just giving my total honest opinion, and I don't want this to, like, stop you from hearing this new album, because I definitely think if you're a fan of Trophy Eyes, it deserves a spin. So yeah, give this one a listen if you're a fan of Trophy Eyes. Give this one a listen if you're just curious to know what I'm talking about, because I have talked about it a lot on social media outside of my channel. And yeah, just go through their back catalogue, because they're a really solid band and they really do deserve your time. Even if this album wasn't for me, I'm not going to knock them. I think you should definitely give them a listen and just enjoy their journey as a band. But that'll be it for this ramble. Check out social media links in the description. Yasin issue 11's out now if you want to click on the link in the description for that. The October issue comes out October 1st, and I'll see you in another video, or you can read my gig review in that issue. Hopefully it comes out. Yes. I'll see you in another video.